Hey fitness friends, it's Mark, and yes, I'm out here jumping rope by myself in the garage, and more than anything, that makes me realize how much I miss my own personal training clients and that one-to-one connection and that energy. And yes, I don't know what that world's going to look like when we do all get back to our gyms and our clients, but we know that it will be different. So let's talk about personal training in the time of social distancing. Each one of you, I know many different states, gyms, facilities, there's going to be separate policies that we all have to abide by. But I've got kind of 3 points that I think can help us all do a better job of managing this when we get back. So if you think about these things, process them. If you agree or disagree, let me know, but I do think they will help us get better when we get back. And if you haven't pictured this, sit down, think about it in your mind. And so first, I want to consider personal, right? How do we personal train if I have to be 6 feet apart from somebody? Whoa, that's a big difference. So that's going to play into everything that I do. And so first and foremost, I need to be on top of my game when it comes to verbal cueing, using my voice, using my directions to guide my client while they're exercising, because no more will I be able to give that little bump on the elbow or the, hey, squeeze my finger with your scapula on the row. All those little minor corrections that we may do on a physical side, those are going to be gone for a little while. So how do I make those corrections within the set that allow them to finish the move successfully and safely? Wow, that's a tough one, right? So first, we probably have the option of giving that demonstration prior to the exercise. So depending on your client's level of comfort, we need to make the most of that. But if you're in a crowded facility or you're having to wipe down equipment immediately after each use, I probably don't want to spend that much time demonstrating on a pair of dumbbells, grabbing wipes, wiping them down, handing them to my client, and then moving from there, right? That's going to be tough. So it's going to be imperative that I am able to use my verbal cues maximally. So if you haven't tried this before, take your phone, take your iPhone, record only your voice, put it down so there's no camera. Practice teaching your common exercises, your squats, your lunges, whatever your programming is with your individual clients. Practice teaching using only your voice. And then be a harsh critic. Listen objectively. If I didn't have prior experience, if I didn't know what this move was, could I do it successfully? Can you grab a family member or a friend? There's a few of them sitting around most of our houses, right? And they're probably happy for something to do. So get a hold of them. Put them across the room, set up an exercise, talk them through it within the exercise. Talk them through some corrections. At the conclusion of the exercise, hey, safely bring that wherever it needs to be. All those things come into play. We're even going to have to think about giving a little bit of autonomy to allow for cessation of the exercise for our clients. Now, normally, I can be in position, hey, I can spot them, I can go here, I can catch something if need be. If I'm standing 6 feet away practicing social distancing, I need to be clear with my client. What are the things to look for? Hey, if you feel this happening with your form, if you see this, you stop the set. And honestly, that's probably going to help them be a better and more successful exerciser if they learn to look for those things on their own, right? Kind of cool. I'll wrap this part with really the most memorable thing that I ever did in graduate school was having to teach exercise at a school for the blind. And at that point, you realize how many words you say mean nothing if somebody can't see you. Like this, right there, nice, whatever it is. How clear can you be? Because we're all going to have to step our game up when it comes to verbal cueing from 6 feet away. I have to project, right? That quiet whisper and tap, that's gone. So get out there, work on it. The cool thing is you'll be better at everything else you do when we do get back in face-to-face to really get into the mix. Now, second consideration is exercise selection. And I'm not talking about our trainer manuals, our certification test, our school texts, whatever it is, where we talk about order of exercise and large to small, opposing, whatever it is, however you're programming. Let's think again about exercise selection if I'm having to stay distant or if I'm having to wipe everything down nonstop, right? Can my client successfully get those dumbbells on the bottom rack or the middle rack, safely move them into place to begin the next exercise? If it's a plate-loaded leg press, are they cool loading up multiple 45s, or have you been doing that for your client all those years? It's not wrong, it's cool, it's a service, it's what you pay for, right? But can they grab multiple smaller weights? Or if we taught them to lift using their legs, putting them on the rack, all those things will be considered. I have some clients that cannot reach a lat pull-down bar by themselves. Well, what am I going to do? What are my options? If you haven't thought of this, think of it now. If you're used to coming out of a chest press or a dumbbell press and guiding their wrists, taking the weight off their chest and taking it to the rack, I need to go lighter. I need to teach them how to do that themselves. All of these things to be considered that weren't part of the science textbook. Now, what about my really heavy lifters? My younger guys that are working toward a maximal lift or a competition kind of lift, and I've been spotting, they're used to being spotted to get that extra rep or two. That's out of the equation too. So how can you manipulate the resistance that you're using, either in pounds, the order of exercise, the tempo or speed of the exercise, so that they're still able to push those upper limits of intensity without me there pulling a barbell along with them? Wow. So let's think about that. And then finally, this might be the biggest, is what do you look like when you're training with social distancing? What do you look like from 6 feet away? Because I will be honest, in my many years of directing personal training programs, I knew which trainers could work multiple sessions back to back, 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions in a row, and which trainers could do 2 sessions and they're like, hey, you know what? You need to schedule your 15, 20-minute break to get your energy back. Because if you've ever found yourself staring into space, looking at your phone, crossing your feet, leaning on equipment, talking to other trainers, or all these things that your client's not paying for, when you are 2 feet from your client within fist bump distance, what's going to happen when you're 6 feet away from your personal training client? Your field of vision's just expanded. You don't have that connection. How much easier is it going to be for me to get distracted and start looking at everything else that's going on around the gym? So see yourself in your mind right now. Prepare yourself. Even though you're 6 feet away, you're not spotting hands-on. Knees are bent, you're active, you're athletic, you look totally engaged in that session, because young trainers may not realize this, but you are always being viewed. Your members on the treadmill, your members on the machine, wherever they are, they're watching. Hey, what's this personal training thing all about? And is it worth $40, $50, $70, $100, whatever your going price is in your region? Is it worth the time? And you see me here, staring into space, yawning. It's going to be hard. It's going to be different. But think about it that way. Your client needs that, and your business needs that as well. So I hope I gave you some valuable tools. Add a few comments. Let me know what you're thinking, or even what's happening in your region in regards to personal training and small group training. And if there's anything else you would like to talk about to help you professionally, let me know in the comments, and we will keep moving from there. We'll see you soon.